This is Decathlon, cheapo, £12 with a couple of stickers on it, but I absolutely love it. Looks like a blooming fuel tank on my bike, but there you go. And what I do, I have brick spare juice, and I've devised a little way where I plug in a wire from the battery extension pack, and I've looped it up through, so when I put on Strava to record my ride, I will just plug this straight in there, and thus my battery will not go flat on quite a long ride. I've got my sleeping gear in here, so my sleeping bag, my bivy bag, my air mattress or sleep pad, and my pillow, so all sleeping in there. And then in there is everything else, so my cooking equipment, my food, water, that type of stuff in here. Obviously tent, just slightly important. So just this bag really I think is extra from last time, which is long sleeve top, change of underwear, and I've got lightweight coat as well, because I do believe hopefully it's going to be a clear sky tonight and it's going to get quite chilly. So and then on the front, this is what I call my electronics bag. It's where I've got my spare batteries, GoPro batteries, spare Insta360 battery. I've got an extra charging brick in here, all the cables, so it's kind of like my electronics bag really. Small little tripod. Speaking of GoPros, I've got my GoPro 5 just to grab and randomly get different shots. The Insta360, my latest acquisition, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, here's my setup. Let's hit the road. Whoa, made it. That's a little bit hairy, that. Welcome to another Midlife Crisis Guys video. I am setting out on a stunning mid-May day in 2019 and setting off for my second bike camping experience, and I am going to be making my way up to Ashbourne and the Tissington Trail, join the entire length of the Tissington Trail and make my way to Monash and a little village called Flag, where I'm looking to do my second bikepacking camp, which I'm really looking forward to. So this is about as close I get to the A50. It's pretty noisy, but thankfully, as you'll see, the path slowly drifts away from that really busy road. Thankfully I don't have to ride on that. So anyway, yes, welcome along. The first video that I did, my first bikepacking experience, I can't believe the amount of views. It's had over 1,000 views. So thanks very much if you've watched that and consequently subscribed to watch my little adventures here and there. I did promise that it was such a success, that trip, that I couldn't wait to get out and do it again. So been keeping a beady eye on the weather, coinciding with my days off, and this is perfect. It's a Monday as well, so where everyone else has just gone back to work, I thought, oh, time to sneak off. So we're just coming through the village of Derbyshire, and there's the Cavendish Arms. Do you know what I love? Is the sound of the A50, that traffic slowly fading away to be replaced by birds singing.
This is where the Tissington Trail kind of intertwines. It crosses over, I believe, a couple of times, or at least runs parallel with the A515, which is the main route that basically links Ashbourne with Buxton. I believe this is the station of Tissington here. A nice place to stop and have a coffee. Hiya. Can I have a white coffee, please? Thank you.
How is it heavy?
Oh yeah. But once you put it in, if you put it in eco mode, it takes the weight of the bike. So you're on normal mountain bike, and then any extra.
You pleased with yours?
Oh yeah, it's mint.
Way to go.
Yeah, it's great. I just bought it for work really. I've got loads of bikes, but this is just a fun bike really for going work on. Because I've got to go every day, like even in winter. I live in Artington and I live near Derby, so it's quite a moor really, so it's like 23 miles each way.
And you ride, do you?
I go on this every day. It's got,
Would you mind if you appeared on my video?
No.
Because I've just caught you, but I won't use it if you don't want me to. What was your name?
Richard.
Nice to meet you, Richard. Thanks for that,
Yeah,
mate.
no
Thanks for the little chat about your bike. What was your name?
Great.
Will.
Will. Do you mind if I use footage? Nice to meet you both.
Okay.
Enjoy your ride back.
Enjoy your break as well.
Thank you.
I
Hope the stars shine tonight. Yeah, so do I. I'll be wrapped up.
Might be cold though.
Oh, it's
I
gonna
know
be
it's
nice.
going to be better,
It's
isn't
gonna be
it?
even
But
better tomorrow than Wednesday. Lovely.
I know. These are my batteries, but I'm only jealous.
The thing is, we're not any younger.
Enjoy. Nice to meet you. Take care. Bye bye. Right, well this is pretty much the end of the trail for me, I believe. Not Low Farm. Camping. Here we go. Check in at the farmhouse on the left.
this is it. I'm here. As you can see, it's quite busy. It's on a bit of a slope, but I've found, I think I'm going to put my tent just here. It's a bit of a level patch here. It's like the entrance into the sheep field, but it's just perfect. And the sunset down there is going to be spectacular, and it's looking good for a starry night as well, and the moon's already out. Just wonderful. I love this tent, brilliant. So, my trusted Alp kit cloud base. Good bit of kit this, really pleased with it. Doesn't take a lot of blowing up, as I will now demonstrate. Woo! Man, that's good. Bit light-headed, but there you go. Pretty good, eh? Put it in the right way. Now, sleeping bag. Got to be honest with you, this is the bane of my life, really. God, it's huge and big and heavy and cumbersome. It's been great. It's been really good. It's 1.9 kilos though. Look at the size of that thing. Nearly 2 kilos. But, you know, I've camped in some pretty cold places, and I'm not going to be deceived by how mild it is now. Once that sun goes down, it's going to get quite chilly here. So, yeah, I don't want to get cold. No one likes to get cold. And I met a really interesting guy the other day who was a bike packer. It was quite funny, actually. I was chatting away to him in a railway station. I was with a friend of mine. We were going off into town to meet some work colleagues to basically get drunk, really. It takes me at least 3 pints. Anyway, and we just saw this guy who had a bike with some really nice modern panniers and all the new stuff, you know, under the seat, the bits that go inside the frame. So I got chatting to him, like, yeah, I've done coast to coast, you know, and you know, I'll see you do a bit. Where have you been? And this guy looked at me and says, oh, I've just done Banff in Canada down to Mexico. And he'd done sort of North Island to South Island in New Zealand. It was one of those actually hilarious moments. I sort of soon shut up. And this guy, who's retired, silver-haired chap, but lovely, lovely bloke, put me to shame, really. But we had a really great discussion about kit, wild camping kit, light kit, heavy kit, and he has really convinced me it is so well worth it paying out the extra to get the better quality, lighter kit, because you know, this wasn't cheap. I mean, this thing cost me in the region of 65-70 quid, I think. But he had one of these Downs ones, these lightweight Downs, and that's the way to go, because they are just feather light, but incredibly warm as well, down to about -6 or 7. The big but being, I think they're over 200 quid. So anyone watching this that knows anyone that's selling a cheap Downs sleeping bag, that's really what I would like to get next. But tell that to my wife. I don't think she's going to let me spend that amount of money on a sleeping bag. Incidentally, one thing that I didn't mention was, before I lay out my lightweight sleeping mat, one of these emergency blankets cut in half, and fantastic bit of insulation. So a little bit noisy, a bit crinkly, but again, anything for a bit of warmth. This really acts as an excellent insular layer before I put my sleeping mat and then my sleeping bag. And then, of course, I also have, if it does get cold, this is my ex-British Army bivvy bag. So the sleeping bag goes inside the bivvy bag, warm as toast. This is the first time I have actually remembered to bring this incredibly cheap, flimsy, amazed it lasts as long as it has, probably because I always forget it and I never use it, but I'm getting more and more faith in my Google Pixel phone. And if any of you saw my last bike packing trip, I was really impressed with the night setting with this thing. But the only trouble is, if you wanted to do a really good still shot, I was forever propping the phone up. So obviously always best to use a tripod, particularly with the shots after dark where you need to keep the camera as still as possible. Put it on a timer and then boot. So of course in here I have my shield for the cooking. I have a carry more bag which did have my first aid kit, but I really like this bag a lot, so the first aid kit has been banished into one of my other bags on the bike, and consequently now I have my cooking stuff in here. My spork, my knife, my stove thingy that goes into the gas, my water filter, Sawyer water filter, which I'm not going to need here on a proper campsite that's got a tap, so I'm cheating, and also my flint, which actually goes well with a knife and does a lovely spark. But again, not really essential. So that is my old first aid kit. And then of course the ever faithful pot. I really don't want to get rid of that, but I feel foul of the draw towards lightweight titanium. As I was mentioning before about that bloomin' heavy sleeping bag, I know I am going to get suckered into buying one of these titanium pots and using it as a cup as well as doing my cooking in it. It's all about cutting down in weight, but I like my pot. And of course in the sock is the gas, but with hardly any in it, which is why I stopped off in Ashbourne at Mountain Warehouse and bought another one. Trouble was, buy one get one free, so I've got another one. So I've got enough gas to boil enough water to sink a battleship. That doesn't make sense, but anyway, let's start cooking. I don't know if you remember in a What I Take on the Pennine Way video I did a practice run of a pasta sauce, with some pasta that I cooked earlier in one of these super duper zip and tip bag. Boil in a bag, done perfectly. It's turned out all right in the end. Lovely. Lovely.
people sort of wonder about the solitude and stuff, and my wife says, oh, don't you get lonely? I really don't. I don't know what it is, something about just being out here in complete silence. I am cheating a bit, I guess, as well with I'm not wild camping, and it's a cheat, that is, because really I ought to be somewhere, you know, really proper wild in the middle of nowhere, you know, and I'm not too far from the main A515. I've got this far, but I've got to be honest with you, it's so handy having a tap with drinking water. There's a rubbish bin, get rid of all my rubbish. You know, it's just, I don't know, I'm not perhaps the true wild camper that I perhaps think I am. I'm kind of liking having these things sort of just there. But the fact is, I would never come to a place like this if it was packed. Can you imagine this field here, full of tents? The fact is, I would not even entertain the idea to do that. But when you've got the whole place to yourself, I think there's one other person staying here. I've just noticed the sky really starting to go into a really lovely, deeper purple colour. Never going to tire of this. Never. I'm all packed, ready to rumble. I'm just doing a quick piece of camera now because there's a guy cutting the grass on the noisiest grass cutter ever. Amazing, amazing night. I'm gonna hit the Tissington Trail and head home. Do it. If you haven't done this, do it. It's wonderful. So here we are, back on the Tissington Trail and heading back down now. I've just come under, making good progress, just come under another bridge and I've stopped, had to turn around and come back. Dream of noise and wheels and coal and steam. It does make you imagine the old steam trains thundering down here. What a scenic journey for them. So I've pulled over to, one, not let my bike fall over, and two, check my Insta360 because I've been doing loads of filming. Off we go. So Tissington 3 miles, Thorpe 4.5, Ashbourne 6.5 miles. I think it's about 11:15. I'm not in any rush to get home, apart from to see those girls and take those dogs out later this afternoon. It's been beautiful.